Hello and welcome back to The Next Delicious Thing. I'm Jennifer Earle, your host of this delicious podcast. Every episode, I am telling you things that need to go to the top of your list to try next. And in series 2, we're going to be sitting down and trying lots of things. I say we, I'm going to be joined by incredible guests who have real expertise in croissants and babka, in bread, many, many delicious things. Season 2 will be coming out next year, but I wanted to record this special preview episode because it is mince pie season and I couldn't not let you know some of the ones that you might want to try or some tips in how to make them better if you're planning to make some yourself. So I am joined today by award-winning food writer Felicity Cloake, who is the mince pie research queen, and by the pie king himself, Calum Franklin, chef and author of The Pie Room. And they're going to be sharing their special insight and helping me eat these 12 mince pies. And we have a big selection of a variety of mince pies here. There are so many people making mince pies in London and beyond. So we're planning to talk about the different varieties of mince pies, what we like in them, if you want to make some at home, some things that you might like to look out for. And we'll also be talking a little bit about the history of mince pies. So to tell you a little bit about my lovely guests, Felicity is an award-winning food writer. She has authored 7 books, the latest of which is Red Sauce, Brown Sauce, a British Breakfast Odyssey.
That is correct.
Excellent.
Well remembered.
The tagline, it's a great tagline. All of her books are available from all bookstores. Your last 2 books are more stories of food and travel and adventure.
Yeah, they're sort of a foodie travelogue and they've got recipes thrown in. So I did a French one, which was based around croissants and famous French recipes. And then this one is British breakfasts and all the different regional specialities, all covered on a bike.
And Felicity's kindly said she'll come back for the croissant episode, hopefully, as long as this goes well.
So generous of me.
Yeah, we'll be eating croissants. It's a very, very hard job. Also, you teach food writing for The Guardian. So you probably know Felicity's name from the author of the Perfect column and many perfect books where she makes other people's recipes, tells you about what she liked and didn't like, and then comes up with her own perfect.
Yeah, I'm a magpie. I just steal bits of people like Calum's recipes and put them into a sort of Franken perfect recipe.
Do you know, I've cooked your perfect recipes probably more than I've cooked anything else, like in terms of reference books or whatever, 100%.
I think that's such a great way to do it, though, to like take 3 to 8 different other people's and then pick and choose. Because when you're the original cookbook author, you kind of have to put your spin on a classic recipe. Yeah. And so is something you can observe as, to your taste or not to your taste. But then you can be like, okay, now if you want to make a classic, one that will be appealing to pretty much everybody and that works as well, which is the important part. I have Calum Franklin here as well, who is a chef and also basically the pie king. His cookbook, The Pie Room, came out a year ago. And has 80 recipes for pies and sides that anybody can make at home. That if you haven't followed Calum, Chef Calum, on Instagram and seen the incredible, intricate work of his pastry, he is an artist. He also makes food taste delicious, but it looks phenomenal.
Thank you.
Really, really wow. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Of you. First and most important question, have you had one already so far?
This is going to be my first mince pie of the season. I've been saving myself, so I'm extremely excited by this. At the deep end.
Apparently, when you have your first mince pie of the season, you should make a wish.
Oh.
So,
really?
We're too late for you.
Yeah, I'm like 2 weeks in already.
Nice work.
I'm not on, mince pies I'm 2 weeks in, so I'm going to hold back on sausages wrapped in bacon. I've gone blank.
Pigs in blankets?
Pigs in blankets. That's more dangerous. Mince pies I can manage, but that is a habit that gets out of control. So.
Do many people start eating those before Christmas Day? I don't know, vegetarian.
Is it just me? I won't have a lot. I'll have a bowl or something.
I suppose it's a good football snack or something.
Yeah, if you ever want to do a podcast on that.
Okay.
You man. I'm very excited about this one.
Yeah. One of the reasons I was particularly excited to do mince pies as a topic is because they have so much variability. So there's a broad range of acceptance into what goes into a mince pie in terms of pastry and like different styles of pastry, which I'm going to rely on Calum's pastry expertise talk through what options there are, and then the filling as well. So would you like to tell us about a classic mincemeat filling? Have you got a perfect recipe?
I do. Yeah,
Okay.
that was a very early one. I mean, classically, it is a combination of dried fruit, so vine fruit usually, mixed peel, some fresh fruit, usually apple, but there are recipes. Tried a recipe using banana from someone, and actually, like, you don't. Because it gets kind of subsumed within the mincemeat. You don't really. It didn't have a particularly banana-y flavour, and then you usually put either some booze or some orange juice or tea or something in there, a few nuts. It's just like a sort of melange, and then some spices and dark sugar, and it's got that, together, all those things come together to make this lovely sort of festive flavour.
It's such a unique combination that you wouldn't really think, oh, just chuck all those things in together, especially when you consider nuts and fresh apple and then the fat that goes into it.
Yes, because quite often you will have either suet or modern recipes sometimes have butter in. And I'd be interested to see what Calum thinks about the role of that, because we're sort of brought up to think that mincemeat should have those little strands of suet in, but actually, like, they don't always melt in the oven. Is there any point to them? I want to know.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the reason why suet was kind of still widely used is it's that slow melting point of it, right? But then, if they're not cooked properly, and then you do have these sort of lumps of suet in there.
I like my mince pies cold, so that's what, maybe that's,
Yeah, that makes sense.
You said it's like a melange, the flavour, but it's really specific, right? And it is like, you're talking about like the first mince pie of Christmas, but when you taste it, if you get a good mincemeat, like, it is kind of like Santa, like, shaking you, isn't it? Like, I'm here.
You gotta start being good. Make up for the rest of the year.
It's Christmas time, baby. Like, don't break out the mistletoe because Santa's here. I love it.
But it's the same kind of combination that goes into Christmas cake and Christmas pudding. Spoken to Americans who are just like, what? Why is this all the same? Like, in terms of your like festive treats, they all have the raisins and the booze and the sultanas and mixed peel.
I suppose because they are festive, we retain traditions that otherwise have fallen by the wayside, because that's what you always have at Christmas. So that combination of spices and dried fruits and things is very, medieval, and then is being carried through. And that's just something that otherwise we don't, we can get pineapples now, we can get mangoes. We don't need to be eating raisins all the time. But, at Christmas, it's tradition.
Well, I think, when you think about the fact that we've been eating a version of mince pies, albeit with actual mince meat in it, from around 1100, I'm saying, like, so to 12th century, and the meat kind of slowly got dropped in Victorian times. But in the winter, when Christmas falls, in this hemisphere at least, you don't really have fresh fruit, so you're relying on all of your dried fruits, aren't you? And mostly the pie originally was a kind of a way of the mincemeat mixture was a way of preserving the meat with all the alcohol and the dried fruits and sugars, like to give the sugar to be able to keep something fresh and able to be eaten for a long time. But apparently also the spices were what really made it just only available to the wealthy. And you would serve these mince pies, generally they were much larger then, as a sign of your, just opulence, basically. It was just a sign of how wealthy you were. So you'd serve them in the 12 days of Christmas with these giant pies. I used coconut oil once in making mincemeat, which seemed to work okay.
Yeah, because that's also hard fat,
Well, I think most of the suet you'll find in mince pies now won't be beef suet.
Yeah, be
vegetarian. Yeah.
Palm oil.
Unless you, Lyle's brought back the mince in theirs. Sad that Floor closed before we were able to include theirs, because theirs was always really interesting, their mince pie.
And I don't know if this year's are, but Little Bread Peddler have done them before with, Fortnum's did a beef one year.
Oh, yeah?
Or maybe it was lamb. But anyway, and I've made it before, made Mrs. Beaton's recipe with actual bits of beef. And it doesn't, as a vegetarian, I know that sounds very weird, but it doesn't, because it absorbs the flavour. It's kind of just like a slightly differently textured, another sort of vine fruit. It doesn't give it an overwhelming meaty flavour.
That makes sense.
Really interesting melange of sort of savoury and sweet.
And do you think it was was the fruit used, it was obviously used to preserve and flavour. I heard that was part of the reason for using spices as well, to kind of hide meat that was potentially going to be on the turn.
I think it was just like we would use it in a tagine or something.
Yeah.
That was a really popular combination, fruit and meat. And I suspect that the fruit probably, I don't know, but probably would have been as expensive as the meat. It wouldn't have been all of these ingredients, very, the sugar, etc.
Yeah.
The only cheap thing
fruits.
is the apple, I guess. I mean,
yeah, because sugar was much more expensive than the fruit, which is why the fruit was used in place of sugar for so long. And the other thing I heard about the mince pies having the fruit was it made it like a journey towards dessert. So it was like a savoury course that was more sweet. So it would help people. Like, I don't know why people need help going from a savoury course to a sweet course. We need something that's kind of half and
I think they often had it on the same. There often wasn't a real distinction between sweet and savoury dishes. They would have had them on the same thing, and everything at that time would have been put on the table like this, and you would have just helped yourself to what you fancied. It was kind of like a rolling buffet as opposed to a plated thing, and you had this course and that course. So I think that their palates were much more fluid than our at least sort of 21st century ones. We're quite strict about things, and actually everything went at the medieval table.
Yeah, working in the food industry, you always switch between savoury and sweet all day long. So I have no trouble with it. But I've been people always like, oh, do you want to eat that first? I'm like, I don't mind.
Yeah.
Dessert first. I can go back and forth. Right. Anything you observe as experts, looking across the selection that we have, that you think would be an interesting comment to somebody?
It's like a massive variety of styles and finishes, and I mean, it just shows the galaxy of mince pies.
It does.
Right? It's like there's so many different styles in front of us. And some that physically just look like savoury pies.
Yeah, like this one here is so, my fingers are so, looks like that could actually be a mincemeat pie.
Yeah.
And there's some which
doesn't help, does it?
Yeah, I mean, I mean, that to me is kind of like, in terms of traditional, how we would see something is almost alien, but it looks the most appetizing to me as well.
Which this one here?
This one here. But it probably actually would be the most traditional if we went right back, right?
That makes me think of something that if you're going around a National Trust house and they've got some fake pies in the kitchen, I reckon they look like that. It's got a kind of historical vibe to that one.
Yeah, I think it's just because it's not sliced up where you've got an even, this is a bit underneath the lid that's got a perfectly, the height is all equal all around the sides. So this is much more like somebody.
Yeah, somebody's, I mean, had a hand in it, literally, right? That's this has been punched out by, a pie machine. This one. But without sounding disgusting about, somebody putting their hands in the food, that handmade stuff makes you want to eat it more. Yeah. Right?
It's ironic that you would think that you pay the money to be able to have something that looks perfect because people want perfection, but you charge a premium for something that's handmade.
Yeah, and in a lot of bakeries or places, if you put something like that out, people would think, what is that? They want, the classic mince pie is something like number 7 there, which has kind of got a golden pastry and a sugary top and etc. And that's now what we expect our mince pies largely to look like. Yeah. And actually, I'm delighted that we've got a variety, because definitely for quite a long time in my life, all mince pies, if they weren't homemade, looked like that.
Yeah, totally right. It's the turn away from industrialization of food, which is across the board of so many things, like bread, and you see it, right? I mean, my world of savoury pies, it's what we're desperately fighting against, is that turn away from that industrialization.
Anyone you want to try first? They weren't numbered in a particular order. Okay. But we can try them in the numbered order if it makes it easier.
Go for the squash guy first, because I feel sorry for him.
I know, I do too. And it's
have his misery.
Yeah.
God, it's a crunchy top.
Yeah.
Okay.
Isn't it?
I'll hold it up.
It's nicely filled.
It's almost like...
Yeah, it's two different... Oh, it's not 2 days. I thought it was a totally different top. Like, this one looks like it has, crumble on top of... I thought this was the same way.
Yeah, like when you've cooked that croquant top on top of a shoe bun or something. Yeah. It's a bit like that, right?
Yeah, it does more than just adding actual sugar to it. So I did originally know who made all of these, and I can probably remember some of them. Ooh, that door. I think we have another mince pie arriving.
Should forget that all.
I can go get it.
More pies.
Bye. It wasn't enough.
It's a dream day.
What did you think of this one?
I thought that I enjoyed the crunchy top, and I thought the pastry was well baked and it was well filled and the fruit was plump, but it had this weird, almost like they'd added some lemon marmalade or something. Like it's really sort of intensely sort of citrusy, sour back note, which I didn't really love. I just thought it overpowered the other ingredients. I didn't get a lot of spice. I didn't get a lot of, might not be booze in it, but I didn't get any if there was. It just was kind of like a just sour, sweet flavour, which is not exactly what I wanted in a mince pie. So, it wasn't a terrible pie, but it wasn't to my taste.
I actually really like, I love citrus. So lemon marmalade's a good way of describing it, which worked for me.
Yeah, I agree on the pastry. I think it was a nice sort of thin case. And then that crunchy top was really good. But again, yeah, it was fairly kind of one-dimensional flavour. But I did like the plump fruit as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't gloopy at all, which is sometimes you can get a lot of sort of syrupy thinness to it. It wasn't like that, but I just think great top.
Yeah.
Filling.
It's so hard to judge the first one as well, I think. Did you make a wish?
More mince pies, all right.
Yeah. I'm I should have planned what my wish was going to be. It's too much pressure to decide what my all-important one wish would be. And apparently it's unlucky to cut mince pies. So it doesn't matter what my wish is going to be. Yeah. I've completely,
it's all on you.
Yeah. I've lost out by that. Curse be upon me. So I just thought I'd go with number 2 just to make it easier. Oh, now that's a filling, isn't it? Oh, and you can see the actual pieces of orange, which normally they're much smaller than that, and the pieces of the they're actual raisins rather than.
It's kind of shaped a bit like a medieval hat as well, which I like.
Have you got one?
A medieval hat.
Medieval hat, yeah. I've got a few actually.
Have you?
Yeah, little collection.
Bon appetit.
Thank you.
I like the crimping. So, any tips on anyone who wants to do some crimping for their pies?
I mean, just controlling your temperatures, right? That's the biggest thing. Making sure your pastry is nice and malleable out of the fridge. Don't try and do it when it's hot because your fat splits out from the pastry. Not hot, but when it's just gone warm and soft. Also, loads of people say this, I've got really hot hands, I find it difficult to do pastry work. If you get those like the vinyl gloves you can buy, sort of the almost like medical gloves.
Yeah, like the food safe ones.
Put those on and then you don't transfer any heat from your hands to the pastry at all.
So yeah, it's all fine.
It's really spicy.
Wow, I can smell the booze in this one as well without even eating it yet. Oh, that smells so good.
Might make me relapse this pie.
Yeah, sorry. Apparently, in the US in Prohibition times, the alcohol content was 14%.
Wow.
Because they could, it's fine. It's a pie. It's not alcohol.
Breathalyzed for mince pies on the drive home. You're 4 pies over.
In Scotland, we've got relatives that won't have a slice of Christmas pudding or Christmas cake, or if they're driving home on Christmas Day, because the laws there are so strict. Yeah, that you have to be really careful.
In Australia,
this pie, I think, 0%. Would be,
Yeah, if you had the whole thing, you would get tipped over the edge. I like that about it.
We only had a quarter.
I think this is great.
I like the alcohol note to it.
What do you think the alcohol in it is? Because initially tasting it, and I mean this as a compliment, though it's not going to sound like one, kind of almost got like a Jägermeister note, but I think that's maybe because it's probably got cloves in it as well, and the combination of the spices and the sugar and the alcohol made me think of Jägermeister, but it's kind of almost quite bitter. I don't think it's whiskey or anything. It's kind of...
No, I think it's like a...
I think it's brandy.
I think it's a brandy. Yeah. I really enjoy the sort of alcohol note to it. I think it's a nice way to add that extra sort of dimension of flavour in there, as long as it's not too strong. I don't think it is in that one. And I enjoy cooking where you add raw alcohol at the very end. It's like that classic way of finishing French sauces. They clean them up with that drop of raw alcohol. It's brandy-ish.
Yeah. Yeah, probably not Jägermeister.
Probably not, but maybe
But I
next,
love the fact
next
that
year
it
we might
was-
see one.
And I loved the big pieces of fruit, like the the apple and the
proper chunks.
sort of really plump raisins and things. It's definitely been well soaked, and just texturally, you realise that that's so much more interesting than just a sort of brown, almost like brown slurry in your pie, like having actual something that fills the pie. I mean, that almost looks to me like a piece of pork pie.
Yeah.
It's so well packed.
It's quite sweet pastry too, which is nice. I'm going to just start cutting all of them.
Would you
because
like
I
the
think it'd
pastry to be a
interesting
little
see.
bit more crisp? But maybe if you put it in the oven, it would crisp up.
Yeah, it does feel a little soft.
Yeah.
And I think, but it's a slightly cakey dough, which is probably why.
Yeah.
Right?
It was good. I think if it had been a slightly more savoury, crisp pastry, it would have been even better for me. But I enjoyed that pie. Would eat again.
I think this is the other thing, right? Is that to get a mince pie that deep filled and that beautifully sort of plump, the baking part's really difficult because it will burst if you keep cooking it to the point where it's like a quite crispy
It's
exterior.
already kind of...
Or you, I guess,
Yeah.
or you underfill it, and therefore then it looks meanly filled.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's a difficult one.
it's a tricky balance.
So it'd be interesting. I should have actually done this to start with, cut some of them open. just
Yeah.
while we're-
But the secret to it is, right, is doing it from frozen.
Oh, okay. So
really?
you freeze the whole pie and
Freeze
then
it solid.
Yeah.
And then bake it from there. And then it takes so long for the middle to get warm.
Yeah.
The pastries have plenty of time
That's
to
a great
cook.
tip.
Yeah,
There we are.
I would not have thought of doing that. You see number 3? Is that it?
Number 5.
That's number 5. Damn. Is that 3 near you,
Yeah,
Calum?
the front. That's 3.
3 of them.
Sorry, I was in a pie trance.
That's happened to you guys.
It can happen.
You have a pie in Waitrose and Selfridges.
Selfridges, yeah. Yeah, we had it in Selfridges last year. Yeah, we sold it online with a company that I work with, Dickinson and Morris, and it's this big, hand-raised Christmas pie for like 12 people. Sold out last year as soon as we put it online. I think because Jay Rayner mentioned it, and that kind of just blew it up. But this year, again, we put it online and it sold out in an hour, but it will be available in store in Selfridges, all of them, and in selected Waitrose with deli counters. It will be available from the 9th of December.
And what's in the pie?
So it's turkey, pork, smoked ham hock, and more pork, and like Christmas spices in there, cranberry jelly, and it's in a hot water pastry. And when we were talking about industrialization earlier. Completely handmade, like no machinery involved.
Wow.
And the team that I do it with just blow me away. Like, I mean, they make thousands over Christmas, and it's I just geek out watching them do it. We developed it together, and I'm really proud of it. Christmas pie.
Need to get in line in the 9th.
Is it so? You should actually explain what a hot water pastry is, just for anyone who doesn't understand.
Yeah, so it's a kind of interesting pastry, which is kind of a reverse of the logic of doing pastry. So you boil the fat with water and you pour it over your flour, traditionally just flour.
Yeah.
Me personally, I add egg
Okay.
to that dough because it makes it a little bit more malleable. And that, the sort of thing that always put people off with working with hot water pastry was that you kind of have to work with it quickly as it cools down, right? Because it firms up. But if you put a bit of egg, it doesn't. And you can put it in the fridge, let it cool down and work with it cold.
Oh, okay.
And it's a really beautiful dough to do. One of the most traditional British dough recipes we've ever had.
And that's kind of what's used for most pork pies, right?
Yeah.
It's also quite fun to work with as well. I think it's quite, especially if you are doing it hot, it's quite forgiving.
Yeah.
As long as you're not a perfectionist like Calum, it's quite forgiving.
No, but it's true.
I've never made it before.
But also the great thing about it is you can infuse it, right? Which is something that, when you talk about with pastry doughs like these, if you want to get another flavour into that's not a dry spice, say for example you wanted to get a fresh rosemary flavour into it, the sort of general school of thinking would be to chop it as finely as you can and put it in there, and then that will stop the gluten strands from forming properly and then you'll never get flakes in the pastry dough. So the hot water pastry, it's great because you can just boil up the rosemary with the hot water and the fat and strain it off, and then you get this like intense flavour in the pastry. So yeah,
That's very cool.
I like it.
Right, back to this
Right.
this mince pie. I see lots of currants. Yeah, quite often the recipes do say currants, raisins, and sultanas. It's very like that kind of, what was the word, the polite word for it? In terms of texture, it's kind of sticky and it's got more sauce to, more of a gel around it than lots of these other ones, which are kind of looser.
Yeah, and it doesn't have a strong spice flavour, and I only just had a quarter of a pie, but I didn't get any peel in pie to piece. Like, it's not unpleasant. It doesn't actually, it's not vinegary or kind of overwhelmingly sour, but it's not texturally, it's just a bit one note.
Yeah, it reminds me of mince pies of like my childhood.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
It's very eatable.
Yeah, and it was well filled, it definitely.
Yeah, I think that's the kind of thing most people think of when they think of a mince pie. Yeah. Where's number 4? Right in front of me.
Right.
Okay, this is the crumble topping one.
Unconventional, isn't it?
I like seeing a bit of a mix up. I've seen lots of unconventional pies over the last few years. 2 years ago, I bought like 21 different pies. I felt a bit sick.
Were you going through a difficult period?
It was research for work. Yeah, there was some very interesting ones. So some of them, when it's 21 different pies, some of them was like there was like a mince pie croissant and Popham's really cool.
No.
I didn't bring. I thought I wouldn't sully the
Mince pie
mix.
croissant, no.
No.
Touchy.
Go to Popham's, have their delicious cheese and Marmite thing, and leave. That's what you want to do. Do not be messing with the mince pie croissant. It's not a thing.
That wasn't even. That wasn't the one I was considering. The mince pie croissant was more of like an almond frangipane type style one, whereas theirs is like layered and.
Yeah.
I found actually that they had another product at the same time that was kind of reminded me more of mince pie than the one that they're calling the mince pie. Anyway, I like it still.
This one's very citrusy again.
Yes.
Like quite strong. But I really enjoy the crumbly top because it's so buttery.
And it's really robust as well, that crumble top. It's like, it actually reminds me of school crumble, and that was one of the things my school did really well, was those big trays of crumble with really crunchy tops. And this is, again, it's got real texture to it. It's like crunchy. It's not just like a soft doughy crumble. It's good.
What I really like about this is the as well as those things, is the fine fruit are really, I don't know if they're just really caramelized. They're like almost on the burnt
There is a slightly
side.
burnt sugar taste to it, which is quite
almost burnt, which I really enjoy.
I wonder whether, do you think that they bake the pie and then bake the pie open and then put the topping on top? Because it does have a quite slightly burnt sugar taste to it, which is quite unusual, because you don't generally cook mincemeat before you put it in the pie. Or do you think they've just used really dark muscovado, but it's got a burnt taste rather than...
No, I feel like
Yeah.
maybe they actually cooked and then put the crumble on.
That's what I wondered, whether...
Cooked it and then added the crumble.
Yeah, it's nice, it's different.
And this one does actually say, I'm pretty sure this is pitched as an orange mince pie, which might be why you get more citrus. Well, I didn't massively notice the orange, so this might be. So I remember some of the people who made some of them, but I'm not sure if they do have an orange mince pie on their website. I don't know if that was this or not. Yeah, I like that a lot. Interestingly, like when you say about putting egg in pastry, quite a lot of them did have that in their ingredients. They have egg, which I assume is what they put into the pastry rather than anywhere else. I don't think it's so much of just like an egg wash.
Yeah. Some of them you can see have been egg washed. It's like 50-50.
Why would you egg wash and why would you not egg wash? Sorry, you've just put food in your mouth. You can tell us in a minute.
Purely for finish.
Different types of pastry need it more than others? Less butter? Or
I think if you look at the ones that are relatively pale, they're almost like a shortbread sort of finish to pastry. And that you can get colour on really quickly without an egg wash.
Okay.
With the other ones, those pastries, they've egg washed and cooked out a bit longer. But I think it's just a case of the ones that are more like a sort of shortbread, if you cook those for a long period of time with egg wash on, they'd be so dark. Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen that. It doesn't look good.
This one is very citrusy.
It's also very sweet, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think this
Loads of
also
sugar.
may have had another ingredient, possibly Contro, maybe.
Yeah, it's got some sort of orangey.
Yeah.
that going on.
I think that's on purpose.
Didn't love the pastry on
Very soft, isn't
that
it?
last one. It had a sort of, things start to taste of the biscuit tin when you've had things in the, it's kind of that,
Yes.
yeah, it's got that slightly biscuit tin taste.
Wow.
Oh,
Okay, so this is non-traditional filling.
what's happened on the top of that one? There's been a separation of layers.
Yeah.
You can tell us about why that might happen?
Yeah, I mean, that's a
Not that I mind, I don't think.
really well laminated pastry.
Thank you.
Whereas, that's just a separation of layer there, where the bottom layer of the dough has been in contact with the moisture below, so it's stuck. And then where there's been a layer of butter in the lamination, it's just lifted completely. So you've got that gap. But I don't know. I know that that's a handmade dough if I see something like that, so I quite like it.
So there's a risk it might end up not cooking like fully, or being kind of wet and doughy, potentially. Oh, it smells good. It smells like cherries.
Got a glacé cherry in mine, which I'm giving points for because it's so cheery to see a cherry. It's
Completely different to anything we've tasted so far. And really good for it, I think.
Also full of alcohol. You can tell the bakery ones, can't you? Like the independent bakeries, and like, let's pour some more alcohol in. Because it makes it different from supermarket, because often the supermarket ones, if there is alcohol in them at all, it's quite a low level and a very kind of generic alcohol taste rather than, or a cheaper alcohol taste.
It's an entirely savoury pastry dough. There's no sugar in it at all. The only sugar is what they've added onto the top at the end, which I like.
Yeah. And the crunchy texture at the top is, apart from the sugar, the crunchy sort of crispy pastry is really nice.
But I think that might flip a lot of people out that are real sort of haven't gone left field at all before with mince pies. A lot of people will be like, that's not a mince pie.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of out there.
So much alcohol in that.
But I enjoy it.
I like that a lot. I like that the dough is less sweet, but yeah, it's
And I
worlds
love
away from number 3 or number 8.
the flavour of the alcohol. It's almost like they've got some kind of nut liqueur or something in there, like that green walnut stuff. I don't think it is, but that's what it reminds me of. Like it's cherries and nuts and that slightly like almost amaretto-y without being sweet flavour, which is nice. So it doesn't, it almost tastes like another sort of
That's coming
pie.
from the cherries, because cherries and almonds tend to have that kind of crossover in flavour.
Excited to find out where all these pies are from.
Yeah, I was just thinking, should
more.
we have been talking about where they're from while we're eating them, or at the end?
Maybe
Like,
at the
people are
end.
going to be like, "Oh, you have to watch the end,
Yes.
guys.
Yeah.
You want to find out." You said you were going for lunch after this.
Yeah,
Sorry. I went for lunch after visiting the Burley Bakery preview at their production kitchen and tasted so many things, and then could only manage one course for lunch. Very disappointing. It smells very mixed spice.
Oh yeah, that's very spicy. There's a lot of nutmeg and clove,
Wow, that's a lot of
which
nutmeg.
I like because I love nutmeg. It's like,
That is a lot of nutmeg.
forget vanilla, nutmeg is my thing. Nutmeg jam, nutmeg, the preserves. All of
You
that.
carry a nutmeg on you.
Actually, I should do.
Yeah,
a little
it's
microplane.
perfect. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah. People have those little
Tiny
sriracha
little
bottles,
grate,
but you need one of those mini graters.
My
and
friend
a
carried,
nutmeg.
It's going to be
carried
my new identity for New Year.
my friend carried a jar of Parmesan around Asia. Wrong place for Parmesan.
Pretty poor.
Yeah. I love you, friend.
I take Marmite away with me, so
Yeah, I would.
yeah. It depends where I'm going, obviously. But
The pastry dough on that is it's almost like a wet texture because it's too soft for me.
It's very sweet, isn't it? It just disappears in your mouth straight away. Like I think that's what we mean
It's
by
a
wet
style,
texture.
right?
It just it goes so fast that it turns into liquid in your mouth.
yeah,
I
it's
think
almost,
such a contrast from the last one.
Yeah, that
So-
also makes a difference.
Actually, the top was quite like the top. I just thought the sides were a bit underbaked for me, and so it was a bit soft. But it had quite a nice buttery.
This one,
taste.
actually, I took it away, but this actually had like a papery casing around the outside. I wonder if that stopped it from getting that kind of heat.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
but I do
Yeah.
like
metal
the,
against
I
metal.
mean, that
like
is
the
a big
spice
thing,
filling. That was
right?
good.
I mean, we were talking about that with the sort of casings that they're cooked in. So in these sort of aluminium tins, kind of wasteful,
Yeah,
Yeah.
right? Also, just terrible conductor of heat. So, I mean, you take them out of the oven, you can hold it. It shows how bad a conductor of heat it is. So I'm making them at home. You really want to use the sort of those, the muffin tin trays, the heavy ones, because you just fire loads of heat into the side of that pastry, and you get those little. And some of these you'll see it like you can actually physically see those like bubbles on the side, and that's just from like intense heat, and that's crispness and texture.
Didn't seem to be enough filling for me in this one, even though it's very similar to the last one.
It's quite pastry heavy, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm going to be the first person to use the word. Maybe it'll be the last time. But mouthfeel. It's kind of gluey, right? The whole thing. Pastry and the filling as well. Kind of coats your mouth.
Do you feel...
Not in a good way.
Okay, I'm going to tell you this is a vegan one.
Interesting.
So I feel like it's important to say that here because it's probably can't achieve as easily. It's great that there's a vegan option.
Yeah. I mean,
I enjoy the look of it. It looks kind of wonky and handmade.
Yeah, I still quite like it. I just feel, I don't know whether that was just an unlucky one that opened, but there wasn't as much filling.
There wasn't very much filling, and so it's hard to actually judge what the filling tasted like.
Yeah, I just lost the filling amongst the pastry.
The one before had a really strong spice element to me, and that...
I still taste the nutmeg from that one.
Yeah, it's great.
Number 9. This is fascinating. Can you talk a bit about what you think of this pastry while I'm cutting it?
I feel like we should be breaking out the brown sauce, red sauce.
The thing with a mince pie is definitely a brown sauce thing, echoing the same. In fact, there's quite a lot of similarities with
isn't there?
With the spicing. And brown sauce, you often put dates, or I think initially the earliest recipe had prunes in it rather than dates, and then you have like the spices and the brown sugar. And actually, now I come to think of it,
No wonder you like mince pies.
I don't like mince pies.
So
Maybe this go well with a bit of mustard.
I mean, traditionally, some people do eat them with cheese, right?
They're good with cheese. It's a bit of Wednesday dough.
Well, it's lard.
We've got some organic cheddar.
Yeah, 100% there's lard in the pastry, right?
Oh, yeah.
Then you taste it straight away, unless I'm mistaken. But you get that immediate savoury hit on the pastry, which is great.
And the fact it's so sort of crisp and flaky.
Yeah.
Again, the filling is really...
It's dark,
dark,
isn't it? Yeah.
I like it.
The filling is like Christmas pudding-y.
Yeah.
It's got that real...
100%.
Yeah. That's like a hybrid of a mince pie and a Christmas pudding, flavour-wise.
Like verging on the edge of bitter, right?
Yeah, it's that Oxford marmalade sort of, is it sweet, is it bitter, is it...
I like the idea of serving that to someone who's never had a mince pie and it completely bamboozling them as to be like, what?
Yeah. What course does this come in?
Now, this feels more to me like what the medieval ones might have been like, just without the kind of bristle from the
I
mince.
could eat a lot of that pastry.
Yeah, pastry's great.
Yeah, that is...
No, and you're right. I don't think that would be... Most kids, I think, would struggle with that as a mince pie just because it is quite dark and
it's
grown
very...
up. And it's not particularly strongly boozy.
It's not the alcohol, but it's still...
Yeah.
The bitterness, I think you get from it more than you do... Not a bad bitter, just that marmalade
bitter.
kind of...
But yeah, it feels like
intensity.
almost a pie pastry to me, a pork pie pastry.
So would that be a hot water pastry?
Yeah, I think so.
It kind of looks like what I imagined them to be.
It's great work, whoever's done that.
That number 10. How do you guys feel about people sprinkling icing sugar on bacon?
I was just thinking that.
I mean, it looks nice.
Like a little Christmas
In
sandwich.
general, it depends. Like, if the pastry itself is savoury, then it's kind of like having the crunchy sugar on top. It adds a bit of sweetness. But if it's a sweet pastry, generally not necessary.
Yeah.
I really don't like it when people put it on brownies or on croissants. Like, these things are sweet enough already.
Yeah, when it's just done for aesthetics, I think that's a problem because it does taste of something.
Yes.
But it's like sometimes confidence as a baker, right? To pull back on things. And when I was younger, I probably, when I did any baking, I just put icing sugar on everything because I was like, you know what it needs? The old magic dust, right? But it doesn't have a purpose. I would have loved to have just seen it sort of naked.
And this is really...
Pastry's good.
The filling's really chewy and
Sweet, like really sweet, right?
really sweet, but like the texturally, because it's all kind of fallen apart, you can see here, it's all very separate.
I don't think it is that sweet.
Maybe more sour, right?
Yeah.
sour.
It's interesting. It's like not sour in the way
The nutmeg
that I generally...
cloves in this is really strong.
Yeah. It's not. Yeah, it's not sour in the way that jars of mincemeat are in that kind of citricy acid way.
Yeah.
It's kind of... Yeah, it's interesting. It's almost more like it's kind of chopped salad in a pie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're so separate.
I mean, you can actually
quite
see the
interesting.
pieces of zest and stuff
Very
like that.
different.
And
I like it. The pastry is very sweet, I think, but in a nice way. It's like a shortbread biscuit, kind of not as firm, but
like the maturing of mixes. This is like a really interesting part about mince pies, right? And what makes it like one of those like quite cool British things is those things you just stick away in a cupboard and leave it for months and months, right? And then we look to like Nordic food now, and we're like, oh my god, fermentation. We've actually been doing it for years, right? Especially with like garum sauces and things like that. But so people told you how long some of them are like fillings of
only this one that I noticed for 6
matured.
months. This one I think 6 months,
6 months, yeah.
but none of the others had it as a
Someone needs to
selling
do
point.
like a scientific, like
Yes.
that.
proper breakdown
Be
of how
another
the
perfect
flavours
column.
change and
Yeah.
stuff. I think it's so interesting.
Plan ahead for next year. Start one now
Yeah.
and then one a month later. And
We need Heston or someone to get onto it.
Yeah.
And
Because it's like
actually,
it's blind faith otherwise,
Yeah.
right? Someone could literally say to us, yeah, 5 years that one.
Yeah.
And they've just made it the day before. And we don't know. And then it cons us for the rest of our life. It's like when Andy Haler does his restaurant reviews and his big thing's always like, how big was the turbot in the kitchen today? And chefs just lie to him. They're like, yeah, it was 50 kilos, like the size of a whale. And he put it in his review. He's like, you could taste the difference because it was from a 50-kilo fish. And I know, or whatever. But do you know what I mean? You'd need to know what difference it makes in terms of layering of flavour over age.
I feel like it's got a plateau at some point, like, you know, or at least like a plateau enough that it's
Well, it's like a wine, isn't it? It probably carries on getting better, and at some point it then starts to decline because the flavours have become old, and you know the spices lose their potency, and etc.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. That's a surprising mince pie to me. I look how big some of this fruit is.
Yeah. Plump.
Yeah,
Right?
plump.
That's a
Plump.
Sizable.
that's a
It's a big
That's
old
lots.
Bertha. That's almost like they've dried the grapes themselves. Like what was?
or it's a
What was
plum.
that?
This is the whole plum, a baby plum. This is very Eccles cake looking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I quite
totally.
like. I like an Eccles cake. I think I remember this one from my quest.
Yeah, this reminds me of a pie that I might want to run to get in lockdown when
Yes, yes.
I was like running all over London and putting pies in the back of my gilet.
When I got this the first time, I was like, it didn't feel like a traditional mince pie with like the fact that it's so Eccles-like, but I really like, it smells so good.
Just had a really salty bit of pastry.
It's that
Intensely salty.
salt and brown butter, right?
This pie is a lot.
It's a
You
journey.
see why it's small?
Yeah.
It's a journey, isn't it? Because you get those like little pockets of salt,
Yeah.
and then you get like
Yeah.
pockets of sugar.
Yeah,
as
it
well.
all works as a balance, but I don't think you'd want like the pastry is not one. It works better together than the separate parts probably do
Yeah.
Yeah,
alone, which as it should be in a pie.
yeah. It reminds me of like those. You get really good Florentine that has sea salt in it, and it is this like sort of 2-minute journey in your mouth, right? And you got like fruit, nut, salt, sugar, caramel.
I really like the pastry on that too. The texture of it.
Yeah, really flaky.
Very, buttery, flaky. I don't think of that as a mince pie though. I really enjoy eating it, but I'm not getting like much
Yeah,
spice or alcohol or citrus or almonds, like any of the kind
It's
of
interesting that I don't think
things
any of the bits that I've had so far have had nuts. And
No.
obviously I know some people want to avoid nuts for allergens, but I think nuts add a really nice textural dimension
Yeah,
to a
me
filling,
too.
but also they break up the sweetness of all the fruit and stuff. I'm a big fan of nuts in pies.
The St. John one, which I didn't manage to get for today, has like noticeable like almond slivers in it. And I
Yeah.
really like that in that one. And I'm pretty sure the one at Fortitude Bakehouse, which I also didn't get. But I really love the filling in the Fortitude one. It felt very classic mincemeat to me. What I found different about it was the pastry was really thick and cake-like. So it was
Right,
very
gotcha.
soft and
Yeah.
not unpleasant, just more like a very different eat. And same like this, I really enjoy, but I don't think of it. That wouldn't
It's
satisfy
not-
my mince pie.
Quite just raisiny.
It's just
Yeah.
Eccles
Yeah,
cake.
like you say, Eccles cake, it is.
Still delicious. One more. Well done, team.
Oh my God, we've only got one left.
He's had.
Quick, rush out.
There you go. And this is the one that says it's been 6
Thank
months
you.
in the maturation.
Right, let's find out.
I really like the cinnamon sugar on top, though, just from an appearance and like immediate aroma. I don't think I skipped one, did I? No, they all look messy.
Got very thin pastry on the
But wow, that's
the outside.
skills. It's really pale compared to the filling. It's pale.
Yeah,
You can see
yeah.
you can see the almonds in this one. I mean, actually, it depends. That I think I just got a quarter where the raisins didn't. But this looks like the apple and almonds and all the other traditional things included.
I like the apple in it.
It's a very mellow flavour in comparison with a lot of the others. It's like gentle.
It doesn't have any sort of vinegary notes,
No.
right? Slightly missing. A little bit of that, like, kick of vinegar, a tiny bit.
I squeezed lemon juice into mine because I like the acidity to balance all the sweetness.
I don't think the cinnamon's, like, really overpowering. But I think maybe it's a touch too much.
It's a little bit doughy on top, I think. For me, although the general ratio pastry is fine because the sides are so thin, I would have liked a slightly more robust shell and a slightly, because it's a bit undercooked on top. But it looks really attractive. Not a big cinnamon fan, but it's not overpowering to me.
I wonder if that's got suet in it. Probably not. Just taste.
Not getting any meaty flavour, but you're probably more sensitised to it.
Yeah, maybe not.
It's got quite a fresh flavour for something that's been
That's why I would say
matured
this
for a while.
hadn't had it, unless all the others perhaps like a year, and so 6 months is the minimum.
I think because they put a higher, I can't really see it, but maybe they put a higher proportion of apple to vine fruits, and I don't think they put any currants, and I think, well, there's a currant actually, but obviously the more currants you have in, because they're small and quite intensely sweet and acidic and gritty, they do give, I mean, I know a lot of people don't like currants. Love a currant.
Yeah, me too.
But they can dominate, like, you know, this one.
Yeah, I feel like this is kind of, it's like these guys met and one took one half of the mince and the other took the other half. It's like, we'll have all the raisins and the currants and you have the apple and the almonds and yeah.
We'll have the giant one.
Yeah, I would prefer it with more raisins and currants.
But the beauty of if you make your own mincemeat is you can put whatever you like in there. Like you can put dried apricots, you can put figs, you can put prunes, like
Chocolate.
yeah, you could put chocolate in if you had to.
Yeah, no, I don't think we should. I agree. No.
But dried figs is like
It's really good.
Yeah.
Because that texture as well, that slightly crunchiness from the seeds.
Yeah.
I always put them in my
and a
Christmas
bit of
cake as well.
jamminess to it. Poof. Yeah.
tip. So you don't like mince pie croissants? Do you like anything else mince pie flavoured, or are you just?
I mean, folding them into ice cream, delicious.
So good.
I'm not sure what else. What are there other things that
like
you'd get?
milkshakes and the McDonald's pie and
The McDonald's does a pie, does it?
yeah, the festive pie.
What, like an apple pie, but
Yeah, festive
Full
pie.
of mincemeat or with apple and...
No, it's just mince. Oh, I mean, there's some apple in the mincemeat. But
Imagine how...
is it also nuclear?
Yeah, I
hot?
was going to say the potential for harm
Yes.
of that is...
we also, I don't remember. I think we developed one. I developed one that had like a layer of custard and a layer of mincemeat. It's really good. Very proud of that.
Okay, I might
Wait,
have to
you
look that out.
developed.
We're in the presence
I
of
used
greatness.
to, yeah.
That sounds amazing.
I used to design the pies and the McFlurries for McDonald's and other stuff, but the pies were
did I
so
not know
fun.
Didn't know
this?
this either.
You've gone right up in my estimation.
Yeah. Did you ever try the Terry's
very
chocolate
cool.
orange pie? It was a chocolate custard. It was a bit
What?
weird. Yeah.
I feel like we need to go back in time and I need to join you on this journey.
It was good times. The berries and custard was excellent as well. It was, yeah.
Should we all pick a favourite before you tell us
Yeah.
what they are?
I think that would be interesting. I'm not sure. God, I wish now I've written some notes.
No. I really liked the this one was great, but I know whose that one is. So that I think it was, which was the one that was kind of quite nutty and boozy. Was it number that one?
This one that had the
guy
cherries in it,
there?
you mean?
Cherries.
Yeah,
in
I
it,
like
yeah.
that.
I think that was the one with cherries. This
I
was
quite like
this
the
was-
first one as
This was
well.
also very boozy. Number
Actually, no, not
two.
the first one. The one, yeah, that one. Yeah, that was one I liked.
Yeah, I liked this one with the crumble, and I thought that was a really good balance of flavour and sweetness
That would be the closest to how I would probably make it,
with the
but
cherries.
it doesn't actually make it my favourite. which is really bad, isn't
Is it the chopped salad one? Because that's definitely my sort of joker in the pack this year. Surprisingly,
the plum fruits. I mean, I actually quite enjoyed going right back to number one. I don't know why. It was that crunchy topping on it. I thought the pastry was a good ratio.
That's a very classic
vibe.
Yeah.
See, I don't think that is classic because there's like the lemony.
Yeah. Okay, classic for a lemon lover. It's not classic
But it
at all.
shows the nuances
But there
of
weren't any,
mince
and
pie.
I don't know where you got them from, so maybe this is it. But there weren't any of the kind that are just so gloopy and watery and sour and like things that give mince pies a bad name, which you can get. Well, you know, but you can get them from very reputable supermarkets as well.
Yeah, true.
And actually, they put people off mince pies. All of these, you know, none of them I would turn down.
Yeah, no, I would
And occasionally
actually.
I do turn food down, not often, but occasionally.
No, likewise. I actually thought they were all
Good standard.
eatable. I like the vegan one was probably the least favourite because softness and the lack of fruit in the middle.
In my backpack, I've got a sports water bottle of custard, so I was just going to take what's left, if that's all right.
Mix it in.
And just eat it on the cab on the way home.
Yeah, perfect. Excellent. Right, so you want to know who made what?
Yeah.
Cool. Which is good, seeing as you like more, I'm happy to tell you. Okay, so the first one was Gail's Bakery.
Oh.
That's sorry for squashing your mince pies if you're watching. The second was from Toad.
Oh, okay.
In this one here. So that should have been the one with cherries and things.
Nicely shaped pie.
Yes.
Yeah.
With number 3, this was M&S's all butter. Number 5 was M&S's with like their premium. Yeah, their premium one with fancy spirits and things, which I should get the name up. I can't remember, but I'll put it in the show notes. So this was like not their most basic level, but their all butter, and then the next level up was that one. Then number 4, this was a nut-free from Proof, The Proof, who do all nut-free puddings, completely nut-free. So definitely no almonds in that one. Number 6, I think, is this one. That was Population's Bakery. So this is George, who cycles his baked goods to places. So these are available at a few select places.
Worth seeking out.
Yes.
No, it's a good pie.
Yeah, it's a good pie. 7 and number 8, this is Riverford.
Okay.
And so this is their vegan version. So that's why I said the filling might be similar, but you're right, it's not really.
Riverford did the good nutmeg.
As you guessed, this hot water crust is Ottolenghi. I assume you guessed because it's near your house. 10 is Spence Bakery in North London. And number 11 is Esther's, the coffee shop, also in sort of northeast London. Number 12 is Sourdough Sophia's, also North London.
Okay.
I should say these other ones, the first earlier ones were South London, so they're kind of across the board. But
I haven't got any West London. Well, Ottolenghi's got stuff in West London, hasn't he?
yeah, couldn't make it that far. But are there any others that aren't here that you know of that are great that you want to tell people about?
A really good value one for people in North London. The Sunflower Bakery on the Caledonian Road makes all their own mincemeat and their own mince pies, and they are extremely good value and nice. And they're very nice people in there as well.
I would recommend the St John mince pie if you want the kind of traditional almonds and everything in it. And the Fortitude's interesting. I'm not sure. Is it
I
like
need to get down there now.
It's, maybe they're doing it differently this year. I'm not sure. Any ones that you?
My mum.
Awesome.
She's
She's selling. She's selling.
she's in Dallas at the moment. So
Selfish.
yeah, cattle ranching, Dallas.
That's cool.
No, not really. No, it's just their
I
holiday.
was like, whoa, that's how I
Making my mum sound really
I want to grow
cool.
up and be that. That sounds great. And not a cattle rancher specifically, but just
Now
something where
slightly
people go, "You're doing
disappointed.
what?"
Yeah.
If you're watching this, Mum, don't be angry. Please.
My mum makes pretty great mince pies as well. Actually, is that where you learn your pie skills from your mum? All of those intricate
Unofficially,
lattices.
yes, because she gets really angry when I say that I didn't. But obviously, I've just cancelled that out by saying it
Yes, you have.
on camera. But she did used to make pies. She would make, she was a mum raising 3 boys that were absolute nightmares. So she wouldn't do hand raised
had other
Victorian
stuff on her
pies.
plate,
Right?
yeah.
She would do big sharing pies. Yeah.
It's a good way to feed. I was reading as well that originally pies you didn't eat the pastry. It was just a plate like the Cornish pasties. It was a way to kind of keep moisture in while you're baking.
Yeah, it was called a coffin.
Yes, and the original mince pies like this, like they would at Christmas, they'd put a baby Jesus had a pastry on top and call it a manger.
That's something to replicate, isn't it?
Bring that back.
Bring that
Little
back.
marzipan Jesus.
Imagine that.
Yeah, marzipan, that'd be
Cutting
nice.
into that. Anyway.
That was so interesting. Thank you for bringing along your insight. And guys, don't forget to buy their books. So Brown Sauce, Red Sauce, and The Pie Room, and other books as well that Felicity's written. This has been very cool. Hopefully
you.
might come back and look at some other products with me at some point.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was a great introduction to 2022's mince pie crop.
Yeah, like I said, I've saved you the trouble of knowing where to go now.
Exactly.
Peaked in the season a little
No,
bit somewhat.
It's always rough. Maybe not today,
Yeah.
but back in that saddle tomorrow.
I actually, because I've done this with lots of other foods. I know you both judged food awards as well. I don't actually feel as sick as I expected to.
That's a good sign.
I'm like,
And on that note,
I thought it would put
Join
me
us
off.
Not as
again.
sick as we expected to.
I thought it would put me off, but please subscribe to the podcast and to the Substack newsletter, jenniferearle.substack.com. And every week I share things that I have tasted, and then I will be back next year, 2023, with the rest of series 2, looking at other different foods with other cool people. Maybe these guys again. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for joining.
thank you.
You.
I hope you all have a wonderful Christmas, and I wish you a very happy eating.